starting off with the death penalty, we have Tick. So it's obvious you can never call Tick skilled, especially since he's the most annoying brawler in the game due to his extreme crowd control capabilities, especially with his attack. And also you have his super, which you just drop your head and it just does stuff. So calling Tick skilled is not good. Next up is Jackie. Normally she's supposed to be number one because players have the argument of, yeah, she requires no aim, and no matter how much you try to tell them otherwise, they won't get convinced. But what impresses me is that Jackie mains have a very strong ego. They don't care if you call their main not skilled. They like her, so they won't care. But yeah, Jackie is called no skilled, not skilled because for her attack and super being circular. Next up is our favorite guest, Edgar. So Edgar, the thing is, he has extreme reload and unload speed, very short range, lifesteal, an automatic charging super that gives you a jump and some speed boost in case you couldn't catch up to opponents, and you have gadgets and star powers that pretty much fix a lot of your issues. For example, being a sitting duck, being too weak, not being able to kill squishy brawlers, dying too fast. You also have the extremely strong hypercharge. And despite him being D tier, he's still extremely hated because he also has this rock, paper, scissors design. Either he absolutely counters you or he gets absolutely countered, so yeah, he's still one of the most popular brawlers. Next up is Gale. I know Gale is pretty much dead. His hypercharge takes way too long. No one plays him anymore. But in 2024, holy, that guy was so toxic. So, he has a wide attack, a wide super, that twister gadget that just twists my nerves, and you have annoying double hypercharge, and the star power that either slows you every time or the other one that stuns you in case you're slammed into a wall with the super. So Gale, he's extremely forgiving too as a controller. He takes his role way too seriously because he's pretty much impossible to hit. Next up is Git. Now his support mode, you would say otherwise, but since we know that the power hungry star power has a use rate of about 90%, yes, over 90% of players play Kit as an assassin, and that is extremely obvious because most kids see him as a legendary assassin more than a support, and that's because of his flawed kit, get it, as in his star powers and gadgets. You have a fast reloading attack that's melee and splash damage, you have a super that's extremely wide and stuns, and then you have the power hungry star power, specifically showdown you become stronger, and the invisibility gadget. And also a super that recharges in, like, I don't know, 22 seconds. So yeah, Kit is definitely not something you'd want to call skill, except if you play him as a support. When you throw those yarn balls, there you could say maybe because of how hard they are to land, but otherwise, since we're talking about the assassin Kit, definitely not. Next up is the controversial tier. Some players say these brawlers are skilled, some say they're not. Number one is obviously Stu. Like, you have some mains who will glaze him extremely hard and say he requires a lot of precision and double super and, trick shots and stuff, and don't forget some toxic pins. And some of his mains say, well, no, it's just spam, super, dash, and stuff. I don't get what's up with the glazing. Some players who don't even main him might say he's skilled because they're too afraid to get roasted, and others might just say he's not because, again, they see spam super, and especially with the hypercharge. You just boom, 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 keep spamming button, and yeah. Next guest is Fangs. So Fang, his mains will tell you, well, you need to do this specific combo to deal this exact same amount of damage, and that clip of me team wiping, well, actually, I had to do this, and then that, I had to think about this, but the average player, they just see the result and say, well, no, that's not skilled, because of course, they don't see the thought process, and I'm not saying all Fang mains are good, there are some who just spam and get lucky, but otherwise, although Fang is more on the no skill side according to the community, there are still some who say he's skilled. Next up is Mortis. So Mortis, if you said it like in 2023 or maybe 2022. Anything behind that, like when he was one of the worst brawlers, you'd say skill. Most people would say skill, but now we have a big thing called his hypercharge, which always guarantees a team wipe, especially with the mythic gear, which gives a whopping 50% extra speed to your super projectile. So yeah, it really makes it so that nowadays the wannabe trick shot montages are just team wipe with hypercharge and then a bunch of thumbs down and clown and X sprays and stuff. And some people still say in his core gameplay he's good, but we can all agree that his hypercharge sure he requires aligning and stuff, but still you have the mythic gear to cover up for that. Next up is actually Sam. So Sam, there are two things about him. You have his mains who will spam the comment section of every living being saying Sam is underrated, I don't get why you guys don't know how to play him, he's actually good. While, you know, they might just be playing duels knowing their brawler is not good in anywhere outside that game mode. You know, just in 1v1 interactions he's good, otherwise he's bad because of, you know, damage inflation with the hypercharges. But you have the infamous stereotype of no chill Sam, you know, spam attack, just super, run, punch, get super, throw, punch, and stuff. Yeah, just an extremely aggressive gameplay based on luck and, you know, no going back. So his mains will write 10 paragraphs worth of glazing, while players will just say he's actually just spam and stuff. And his hypercharge, though the rate has been increased the hypercharge rate from 5 to 4 supers, I don't think that will bring him back up to the meta. Last but not least, Chester. So you might think, why did I put Chester there? Well, some will say he is literally an RNG brawler. How can you call him skill? It's just luck. Others will say, well, do you know how to use all those supers? You need to manage your ammo and stuff. You shouldn't always get to the 3-4 bell cycle. Yeah, so Chester, the weird thing about him is that despite being an RNG character, he's actually viable because of his damage output and especially that floppy hypercharge. We can all agree that hypercharge is pretty toxic. But Chester, now we finally reached the interesting part, the most glazed brawlers of all existence, with the 2.6 donut cycle, a deck that a lot of these mains play. Number 1, it's Colt. It's undeniably Colt. Have you ever seen a Colt main not brag about how difficult his brawler is to master? Have you ever seen a Colt main that doesn't have thumbs down and X spray? If they don't have these, they're not a real main, alright? So, they will go, his attack is thin, his super may not be, although the hypercharge, you know, it's kind of making fun of Colt mains, telling them, well, you have a skill issue, so just a wider attack. But generally, if you try to talk to these mains, they will not listen to you, they will call you an Edgar main, they will have their bubble, their personal bubble breached, their ears will hurt, so you just gotta leave them with their world of Colt being the hardest thing to master. Otherwise, you might actually end up sending one of them to the hospital. Next up is Maisie. I don't get it. Not only is she glazed in terms of skill, but also in the meta. She's not S tier. She's not S tier. I repeat, she is not S tier. She's somewhat D tier because her attack is pretty much impossible to land. It's not a skill issue. That's the thing. If you try to bring this argument, they will tell you it's a skill issue. But even just every pro knows how to dodge Maisie's attack. And that's the problem. You know, in the laws of Timmy's in Timmy's book of laws about skill, you will find aim equals skill. That's it. That's why most tanks get neglected as no skill. And also assassins. Except Stu, maybe. So, you have Maisie who has an extremely difficult attack, so obviously just gonna be skill. Everything just revolves around that cursed attack. Next up is Kaze, so complicated she is, but skill, I'd say Geisha is very difficult, to be honest. She is overpowered, but you can only access this power if you learn a bit. The thing is, players will just focus on the Geisha mode and based on it, they will say she's the most difficult brawler. She wasn't only glazed in terms of that, but also best brawler ever. Just hyping up. YouTubers being paid to hype up Kaze and stuff, and make us forget about the ultra legendary controversy by the Melody hype nerf, etc. Okay, that's out of the point. So her ninja form is much less skill, especially with the hypercharge. That's only in my opinion. That's what most people would say, but it's all about that geisha attack. That's the axis of the whole skill thing. Next up is Nani, and I don't blame them. To be honest, that attack is extremely cursed. Her super, you need like some extreme steering because it's much more difficult to control compared to Janet's super. And yeah, Nani is pretty, although she's pretty forgotten, barely anyone talks about her, but no one would say she's no skill. Last but not least, the fraud support, even more of a fraud than Kit. It's Gray, it's all about that thin attack. That's it. Any Gray main, you will see them busy trick-shotting, farming some clips, also some aura maybe, and they will forget that their brawler is a support. They see, instead of support, they see trick shots tool. They will waste their super and their gadgets just to exchange places with the opponent for some from some weird reason, and they will just screenshot this 100 times, post it in YouTube and stuff like, dude, you're a support. I don't get it. Okay, that aside, yeah, that's the thing. He's just being played as a trick shot brawler, and yeah. That's it for the video. I hope you liked it. See you in the next one.